Let's go, Alex. If he hustled us.
Oh, here we go.
Imagine if this guy's like a world-class kicker.
Welcome to the College Football Show presented by AT&T 5G. Welcome into the studio. Matt Sims, Skubie Mageza, Sam Ravech on hand with you here for the next hour. Keep your head on a swivel. Georgia, talking to you. We just saw a phone get knocked out of a guy's hand there, and Georgia flying a little bit close to the sun, guys. Once again, able to escape on the road against Auburn, 27-20. So, look, instead of asking the question, which we've been asking every single week, who is the number one team in the country? I'll ask you this, Matt, I'll start with you. Is there a team in the country yet that has earned that spot, the number one team in the country?
I guess in common, what we're used to, right, as far as the institution of college football, right? No, because everyone's still buying the hype of, like, you got to be in the SEC, you got to be in the Big Ten. The best team in the country is right there at number 7, Washington.
Say no more.
Throwing shade on this football team. This team has got it all. Offense, defense, the best receiving core in the nation. Yes, I said it, Scoob. The best receiving core in the. Oh,
I agree. Yes.
Right, I was hoping you would disagree. Right, but
he thought I was going to try to come with some smoke. I agree. 3 guys that can go for 1,000 yards easily. Yeah. They got NFL-type talent in that wide receiver room. And then when you look at the Pac-12, there's been a lot of teams that are doing well. 2 teams in the top 10. We got USC playing really well, but they went against Colorado.
On offense,
and it was a little bit of a problem. So let's check out the highlights, because it was an early kickoff for Coach Prime and the Buffaloes taking on Caleb Williams and USC. First drive of the game. We call this the Reggie Bush, because Marshawn Lloyd takes us back in time from when 5 used to do this. Reverse, reverse, and everybody clap your hands. Lloyd with 13 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Trojans make it 7-zip later in the first. Caleb is doing things that don't make sense, because this throw is money. Taj Washington yoinks it, and just like on Thanksgiving, the kids are coming home, baby. Washington had 8 catches for 117 yards and a touchdown, 14-0 USC. We move to the second. Check out this throw by Williams. Zing! Ooh, Dorian Singer makes him say, na-na-na-na. Trojans out to a quick 21-0 lead. Following drive for Colorado, it's time for the Shedeur, because the clock says it's dime o'clock.
Yes, sir. Jimmy
Horn Jr. gets in the end zone. He had 7 grabs, 84 yards, and 2 tutties. Buffaloes get on the board to make it 21-7. Third quarter, USC up 21. Williams was probably playing with his food here. Throws it up to Cameron Simon Craig, because he's on the other team, and picks it off. That was Williams' first interception of the season. He can't help but laugh this one off. Buffalo say, all right, keep on laughing there. Following drive, 4th and 5, Sanders finds his guy who became a star today, Omarion Miller. Miller came into this game with no catches on the season, and he had 7 for 196 in this game, y'all. Sheesh. That made it a 14-point game. Like LL Cool J says, don't call it a comeback, but you might have to. Sanders finds Horn. Buffalo's down 7. It all comes down to this onside kick. Trojans need to get it, and they recover and kneel the game out to win it 48-41. Williams, 30 for 40, 403 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. Sanders, 30 for 45, 371 yards, 5 total touchdowns, and an interception. Caleb Williams becomes the second player in USC history with 6 passing touchdowns and 400 passing yards in a game. Just an absolute phenomenal performance from him, Matt. However, they only win this game by 7 points. So what do you see from USC after a performance like this?
I see a Heisman Trophy candidate again this year. There should be no doubt in that. I see a first-round, first-pick caliber quarterback. There's no doubt about that. I see a very average defense. That's really what I see. That's the truth of it. Very average. We saw what Oregon did to this team, right? They really didn't even deserve to be on the field with them at times, because they were just being that much more physical to the point of attack. Now, that was definitely a good thing for Colorado to have that experience. But, SC just doesn't do the simple things right. I mean, the tackling was awful on the game.
A lot of missed
Right,
tackles.
a lot of missed tackles. And if you're running for a college football playoff, if you're running it like you need to get people down on the ground, and you can't let things like that happen.
Sam, Colorado was dead last in the country when it comes down to running the ball. 223 total yards, and in this game, they had 193 rushing yards. My Lord, we have not seen this from Colorado at all.
No, we haven't. But again, I think part of that goes back to Matt's point in the sense that USC has proven that they have really struggled in open field tackles. We know how great their line is up front, one of the best in the country at getting to the quarterback. That kind of masks some of the defensive problems that they have because they are able to get to the quarterback and they are able to turn opponents over. But what we saw today from Colorado was a well-executed game plan, I thought. They got the ball out of Shedeur's hand pretty quickly to those playmakers on the outside, and they say, all right, one-on-one, who's better here? Who's going to make a tackle? And I thought that was really impressive. But the rushing thing was great, and I think we'll continue.
I don't know why I'm raising my hand.
I think Matt has something to say.
I'm so excited.
Right now. Wait till I call on you.
Yeah, I know, right? Seriously, I was like, can I say something? I think the sacks are a little inflated. Why? Because your offense is putting up there so much points all the time, and it allows you to kind of tee off on defense and get after the passer because you're up big. So I think the sack stat is a little inflated considering the fact that Caleb Williams is their quarterback.
I would like to touch on this, Matt, because I felt heavily on Colorado's game management and situational football on that final drive. They were running the ball and almost taking their time to get that final score. They were able to get that score, which is huge. But then when you don't get the onside kick, USC could nail it out, and then that was it. But had they had a little bit more urgency, they would have had an opportunity to get the ball with maybe like 30 seconds left, something, at least an opportunity. But the way that they handled it towards the end of the game, I thought wasn't done well.
I totally agree, and this is a double-edged sword in this situation. On the one hand, right, it's your own damn fault because you played sloppy in the first half, right? So you put yourself in a hole, right? The second aspect of it is needed more tempo there in that last drive. Be more aggressive. I know you're running the football well and you're trying to be patient on the ground with some of these plays and allowing Shedeur, right, to run the offense, but have to push the tempo a little bit more. But it really will go back when Deion looks at the film and just say, men, we limited ourselves to relying on an onside kick because we were that poor in the first half.
Yeah, and I'll say this, too, about USC going forward. 6 touchdowns for Caleb Williams today. Give him his props. That's a career high.
Yeah.
But having said that, I don't think you can make the claim, and USC fans are not going to like this, that they are even the best team in their own conference right now, right? I mean, you can make the argument, and it's a good argument to be made, that you have Washington, you have Oregon. That could probably, I would take Oregon
Washington State, Oregon State.
Sure.
I mean, this conference is difficult.
Right. No question about it. All right, so we do have more highlights to get to, by the way. Texas A&M and Arkansas. 2:36 to go in the first quarter. Arkansas leading 3-0. Max Johnson, the new quarterback in there. The backup, 32 yards to Evan Stewart there. Texas A&M takes the 7-3 lead. The bad news for A&M here, I guess, was that Connor Wegman was out. But, I mean, Max Johnson has proven under Bobby Petrino, maybe, who has been able to be a QB speaker kind of wherever he goes, that this is a really good, reliable backup in the SEC.
Johnson played at LSU, was a starter over there, came over to Texas A&M, and he did his thing today. The offense was moving well. And then we'll keep this moving. Texas A&M is doing really well in the SEC right now. They're slowly getting better and better, and those 5 stars are starting to show up for them on Jimbo's roster. But then we also had Florida at Kentucky. And this game, we had a lot of eyes on it, trying to see what would happen. And Devin Leary, he got to work. Ray Davis makes a man miss and powers into the end zone. V5-4-fum, the dude's a monster. Kentucky goes up 10. Ray Davis gets a handoff here, and he is gone. 75 yards. If you see him in the forest fighting with the bear, don't help him. Help the bear. The man was a beast today. 280 yards on the ground, 4 total touchdowns, and he was still chewing all the way until the end. Last year, he had 120-some yards on Florida, and he does it double in this game. You got to shout him out for that performance. Big win for Kentucky. They stay undefeated on the season thanks to him going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And Matt, how confident are you in Kentucky right now with the way that they're playing basketball school? Psych, right now they're a football school.
It was great blocking on the offensive line all day, and Ray Davis just making the most out of what was presented to him. And we saw multiple highlights there too, making men miss in the open field. But right here, patience, reading his blocks, and then striking while the iron is hot. So really playing smart football. This is a guy that has been playing college football a long time. He's got a lot of experience, and it showed today with his intelligence on how he read those blocks, played off them, and made men miss.
Agree with it or not, the winner of this game was going to be kind of the main contender in the SEC East, and this was kind of the Ray Davis show. Again, transferred over from Vanderbilt. He has really made an impact for this team. But the question I guess I would ask you two is, how much of a threat, how much of a legitimate threat is Kentucky to Georgia?
Well, we saw Georgia struggle against the run game today in Auburn. Now, they were running more of an option, spread option type of concept, which can be very difficult if you have bad eye discipline, especially with your keys and your rolls. Whereas Kentucky's doing a little bit more of an old school, power run scheme, that's more traditional. So that'll play into the favor of Georgia a little bit to defend that. But still, Georgia, just lack of energy in the early part of the game. Carson Beck did not look great to start this football game.
Yep.
Now, he made a lot of big throws at the end of it, but we just need to see that dominance from start to finish, and I think that's what scares us about Georgia.
Yeah, and Kentucky got off to a quick start today,
Right.
and you just said it. Georgia has not gone off to a quick start. Through the first 2 quarters this season, they're one of the worst teams in college football. Coming into this game, they only had about 13 points in the first quarter of every single game this season. And with Kentucky, the way that they've started out games, yes, I do think that they can pose a threat to Georgia. And Devin Leary, they bring him over as a transfer. He hasn't been the greatest for this team, but he's been able to man the ship and be a leader for these guys. And I think that's making a difference. And one of those intangibles that you may not see in the box score, but you definitely notice it in the results of the game.
He's capable of making great plays for your football team. We've seen it, throughout his career at North Carolina State and now at Kentucky. I think he only completed 9 passes today, but they really didn't need him to be a great passer today with what Florida was doing on the defensive side of the football. So hopefully that offensive side of the football can become a little bit more balanced when they start competing against the Tennessees and Georgias.
No doubt about it. All right, we'll keep it rolling. How about a battle of the oranges up at the Dome earlier today? Clemson taking on the Cuse. Notable alum of the journalism school, Bob Costas, in attendance. Clemson knocking on the door early here. End of the first, Clemson and Cade Klubnik rolling out, finding Troy Stellato for the 14-yard touchdown pass. Clemson up 14-0 here. Garrett Schrader, who, I don't think he gets enough credit for being the dual threat quarterback that he is, finds his tight end there for the touchdown. Syracuse able to keep this one close, 14-7 at this point. Right before the half, though, Clemson back with the ball. Cade Klubnik in the pocket. Bo Collins downfield. Complete? Yes, sir. 47-yard touchdown. Clemson up 21-7 heading into halftime. Jumping all the way to the fourth. Syracuse trying to make something happen there.
What a play there,
Who
man.
else? Jeremiah Trotter has been absolutely stellar for this Clemson defense.
I mean, what a week for the St. Joe's Prep High School out of Philadelphia. You got Kyle McCord, Marvin Harrison Jr., DeAndre Swift, Olamide Zacchaeus. I mean, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. now. They're everywhere, these guys.
Very next play, there's Phil Moffitt taking it all the way to the end zone. Tigers put it on ice, 31-14. Kind of an interesting one here for Clemson. They lost their first 2 conference games of the season for the first time since 2010, and you felt like this kind of needed to be a statement game for them. They hadn't gone 0-3 in conference play since 1998. Didn't happen today, but it was close. What did you learn from Clemson here today, Matt?
Well, I just think it's a good bounce back. It really is. And it's a team that needed a positive win, and really Syracuse will look at the film of this game and they'll be disappointed too, because really giving up that touchdown before half was really the start of the fall for this team. But Clemson, way to bounce back. It's good to see Jeremiah Trotter Jr. back out there healthy. They're going to need him as far as a pass rush and also in a zone defense look as well at the linebacker position. But yeah, Clemson, just hopefully piecing more games together like this.
Yeah, I don't think Clemson is necessarily as bad as some people have pegged them out to be.
Right.
They should have won last week.
Yeah, they definitely should. They were in control of that game until that sack fumble that was taken for a score. We saw the win probability. It was going like this. It was like a roller coaster. But then Florida State gets dinged for beating Clemson, and I'm like, wait, that's a hard place to go win. So what I learned from Clemson is still a good football team. They're getting better with each and every single game, and that's typical in college football.
Yeah, and again, no two-loss team has made it to the college football playoff in the era. So I don't, they're obviously playing for a lot. There's certainly a lot of football left to be played, and who knows? I mean, this is an interesting season of college football here. All right, so when we talk about Syracuse, we usually talk about basketball. We talk about Jim Boeheim and the Hoops team. This college football season, we have seen some traditional college basketball powerhouses kind of show out on the gridiron. So that got us thinking, which program, traditionally college basketball program, has surprised you most on the football?
I totally made you flinch, though, didn't I?
Did you do this?
No, don't play it cool. You did for like a quick second. I'm sorry.
And I will say, the chat right now is saying that Kentucky and Maryland are the biggest two teams that are sleepers, and they're underestimated. Okay. So when you talk about basketball schools, it feels like chat, is that really how y'all feel? We know who we feeling about which basketball schools have surprised us the most, and you have the Rock, Sam, so which one has surprised you?
I'm gonna go with the team we just saw. I'm gonna go with Syracuse, and again, I'm gonna give my guy Garrett Schrader some credit because 35 rushing touchdowns are the second most for an active QB in FBS right now, and coming into the game against Clemson, they had one of the best defenses in the entire country. So again, the loss today, I still think that Syracuse is a team that can make some moves going down the stretch of the season. Who wants the rock now?
Pass me the rock, man. Come on. Hey,
oh my God. And that was such a technical two-hand pass, too.
All right. Well, for me, this is an easy decision. I got to go with Louisville. After getting their win last night against NC State, that was so big. Look, this Louisville team is coming off of a game where they had 580-something yards against Boston College and scored 56 points. You come into a game against NC State where offense isn't necessarily producing for y'all, so now you got to get things to happen on the defensive end. They were down 10 at the end of the first half. They held NC State to 0 points in the second half. They scored 13, and they held them to 200 yards of offense. This team has a great offense. They can play great defense. And then they got Jeff Brom, a first-year head coach, starting off the season 5-0. Unheard of. Where did this Louisville team come from? A lot of respect for him, and that's why they're the biggest surprise for me in terms of basketball schools. Here's a rock, my boy.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, so hey, my team, it has to be the Duke Blue Devils, man. I mean, this is a team that has been a college basketball institution since college basketball started, and have they impressed us with what they've done? I mean, quarterback has done fantastic. Leonard doing a great job. Elko going in there and replacing one of the greatest college coaches of all time, and Coach Cutcliffe. He's able to revitalize this program, keep it afloat, and actually make it even better, right? And this is a program that can't rely on the transfer portal. They can't go out there and change their team with 86 different players. They need to build a program and players over time. And that's why I'm so impressed with this Duke Blue Devil team, and I'm excited for them tonight against Notre Dame.
All right, so that's enough basketball talk, because this is a college football show after all. So let's get back to the college football.
Let's do it.
All right, let's check out some game-changing connections presented by AT&T 5G, where the coaches drew it up and the players got it done. Yes, we timed that out perfectly. Matt Sims and I over at the touchscreen here. We got 4 plays from the Colorado USC game earlier today, in a game that turned out to be a lot closer than many people thought. In the first half, it was all the reigning Heisman winner, Caleb Williams.
Man, what we learned this today is that Caleb Williams is still a baller. All right, so let's look at this right here. Colorado's defense, what are they going to show? They're going to show pressure. They're going to show pressure because we're like, hey, we're going to get after you, Caleb Williams. All right, but the cool thing about Caleb Williams, a lot of experience for a young football player. So we see pressure at the line of scrimmage, potentially, right? We're going to play this out, right? As soon as that ball is snapped, he is going to read that as a 3-man rush, and the play concept that he has behind it is a quick game concept, right? A stick, a little seam, and go here. He's trying to throw this stick route. On the backside, he has a curl and a chip flat. He's trying to throw the stick because he's expecting pressure. Now, as we play this, 3-man rush. 3-man rush, and they're dropping into a zone, right? So he sees that. He says, no, I'm not going to throw the stick. They tricked me. But with the three-man rush, look how calm, cool, and collected it is. I mean, man, he's going to have a cup of tea. He's going to smoke a cigarette. He's going to hang out back there and get an NIL with Marlboro Light. All right, he's going to move it out of the pocket. But look at this right here. Look at this. The harpoon on the run, my friend. An absolute rifle down the field. And he does the rest after that. But, man, really well covered there for a second in that zone look. But when you give a quarterback time like this, a quarterback that has experience and a presence, the calm, cool, this is 7-on-7 football for him. He is going to make you pay each and every time. Keeps his eyes down the field as long as he possibly can. Great throw on the run.
There's only one quarterback in the FBS that has a longer snap to pass time than Caleb Williams. He has a ton of time back there, but that's what makes him great and be able to improvise. There was another quarterback in this game as well, and that would be Shedeur Sanders, who has a whole different skill set than Caleb Williams.
He definitely does. And you know what? We've shown that he has great presence in the pocket, right? But one thing that he does a little bit better than Tom Brady, who's great present price, he can still move and run and beat you with his feet and extend plays. So we're going to get a little quick speed motion right here. Now, I want you to pay attention to these defenders right here. They are all going to get lost with this motion and overplay this area, right? Whoa, look at that.
Look at the
all right?
swipe.
Look at the drawing you got going on
Fruit
there.
Ninja, all right? But now, with the speed motion, we're going to get lost, right, watching this motion. And now what we're going to see is we're going to see a really simple concept. Seam, right? Seam, and then a double comeback on the outside by the receivers, right? A double concept. So he can take his one-on-ones on the outside, or he can read that seam versus single safety middle. And guess what? That's where he's going, to play in that single safety middle zone area. They do it, they play it off terribly, but they create a lot of wash here for this read. Again, a three-man rush. Shedeur does a great job moving up in the pocket, staying calm and collected, and then takes off and turns on the boosters. But look at this right here. This is not good. We have 4 defenders within 2 yards of each other, right? They did a great job of muddying up this seam, but look again, the lane, the passing and the running lane for Shedeur to see. This was a huge play right before half.
No question about it. And again, this game was kind of back and forth. Both quarterbacks getting involved. Both quarterbacks kind of showcasing their abilities.
Yes,
and
sir.
Caleb Williams came right back. This was back and forth all game long.
Back and forth all game long. And it was great for young QBs out there to learn and to see what the modern day quarterback has to do week in and week out, play in and play out to be successful. So in this play right here, we're thinking maybe we're getting some sort of pressure again, right? It's low in the red zone. It's third and 4. It's a crucial situation. So right here, when we're looking at this play, see the depth of this backer right here with the safety topped over, right? He's blitzing, and he probably is too. So we're going to get a 6-man rush here versus 5, 6 men blocking. So Caleb knows I got to get the football out quick. But this is where having an offensive coordinator like Lincoln Riley is an advantage to you. We're going to run a little quick slant and a 3-step slant on the outside here, out and a go. He can either take the out or the go on a one-on-one matchup, or he's going to read that slant to the field. And now this is what's great. Does a great job. He sees the pressure, takes another step back, right, to give himself more space from the line of scrimmage. And then Rice does the rest. And hey, just like his father, that 3-step slant on the outside, cross his face against the defender, perfectly thrown football right between the chest there. And this is what I love too, right? Running back, hey, it's not a great job blocking, but you know what?
Enough.
He got in there, right?
Yeah.
He was aggressive, and he said, you know what, I'm going to do it for my team. Caleb Williams got hit low, but look at the follow through. Still getting hit. While he throws this, delivers a beautiful pass.
Yeah, I talked about a quarterback gets hit. Shedeur Sanders gets hit a ton. You got to credit him for keeping him in this game. I think he was sacked 3 times to elevate it to 24 on the season.
Right.
But he gives him a chance every time.
He does give him a chance. Now, I think some of those sacks are self-imposed. He's got to start getting rid of the football a little bit sooner with certain situations. But this is the stuff that he does extremely well. So here we are in the same situation, right? We're low into the red zone again. It's a crucial situation. They're going to run a little quick game concept and a little go out here, right? Then on this side, we're going to do a little go, right? And then the same thing again, right? So we're trying to get rid of the football quickly out of our hands, right? So now with this 4-man rush, we are trying to hit quick, get the football out fast. Now, they do a great job, the Trojans defense, of doubling, right, where he wants to go with the football on this return route. Now, when he extends the play, keeps it alive, this is what's great. Eyes down the field. He's calm. He's relaxed. Throws an absolute strike across his body to Marion Miller. And look at the young receiver here. Could have gotten the football right here, but good look. Shedeur's looking on the opposite side of the field. He does a great job of recognizing that his quarterback needs help, and he starts to immediately work back into his vision. Unbelievable play by a young football player. To have this type of awareness is fantastic. Now, this is what's great. You see the 1-4 there, nice and clear, right? Shedeur sees that same thing too, man. And when you present yourself to the football, you get presented with the present for a touchdown right there. So, fantastic play by the young football player, and an unbelievable play by all these quarterbacks today.
Yeah, that was a fourth down. Without that completion, who knows what would have happened. Those were your game-changing connections presented by AT&T 5G. Time now to get you ready for the game of the night, Notre Dame and Duke.
There's a lot of noise going around, talking about us, talking about them. Playing us is like everybody's Super Bowl.
We're just hungry. We're greedy. We want more. These are the type of games we dream about. We're not scared of anybody. We're going to hit you with everything we got. It's going to be electric. What we work for is games like this.
Just playing Notre Dame football, that's what we come here for.
It doesn't matter who's on the other side of the ball. We go out and compete like it's our last.
Oh, if that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. College game day in town for football for the first time ever. Been there in Cameron Indoor plenty of times. But before we get into this one, can we just kind of go back to last week, guys, against Ohio State for Notre Dame? Because the legend of 10 men was born in South Bend last weekend. We didn't get a chance to talk about it, but, like, how does that happen in the first place on the two final plays of the game?
I don't know. I thought they were pretty smart over there in South Bend.
That's what I was told.
That's a system thing, man. There's somebody assigned towards counting how many people are on the field, and then there's also the defensive captain on the field. You're supposed to count the amount of men on the field every single time. I mean, if I get out on set and I'm just here with me and Sam, I'm like, wait. There's supposed to be 3 here. Where is the third?
That's easier, you know? I mean, just 3 compared. What it is it's a lack of focus and concentration by the coaching staff. It's a lack of focus and concentration by the players themselves. I mean, someone had to have noticed, like, there should be someone here in front of me, you know, in this position, especially on the goal line. So the moment was maybe just a little bit too big, and we lost focus on the fundamentals of football.
This wasn't the first time. There was another play in the game where this happened, and it happened
in a previous game.
In a previous game.
Right.
So this is yep. So here's the play that happened with before. Against Middle Tennessee when they had 10 people on the field. So it's an issue. And they now know that it's Tennessee State. Excuse me, I thought it was Middle Tennessee. I'm thinking Alabama. But they fixed it apparently because Freeman was saying next time we're going to have a sign where just go off sides, do something to give a penalty because we'd rather take that than lose the game.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the Notre Dame quarterback, Sam Hartman, 124 career touchdown passes. We know what he can do. This is a great fit for him in this system. I'll go to you, Matt. What do you want to see more of from Sam Hartman against a very good Duke defense tonight?
I want to see, you know, the man put the team on his shoulders. I want to see him making the dynamic plays. Like, all these plays right here, I expect him to make those throws. But I didn't see, like, the wow power throws that really separate, you know, him from others as far as an NFL caliber quarterback in this situation. Explosive. We saw Kyle McCord that last drive.
Yeah.
Watch Kyle McCord for the rest of his career at Ohio State. I bet you it's different now because that dude cut it loose. And we just didn't see that enough, right, from Sam Hartman in this crucial situation. So that's where I want to see Sam Hartman, with his experience and all that, like, be aggressive and put your team on your shoulders.
Yeah, at some point, you need to be able to take over a game.
Yeah.
Game-changing type of player. And you expected to see that from Sam Hartman, and we didn't see that in the game. So I want to see him take over because there came a point in the Ohio State game where it was like, all right, you got to have it now. Like, as Shedeur said, it's time. All I was thinking was Brady mode. At some point, where's your Brady mode? Where's your Shedeur? It's just something. Hit me with a moment and a type of want and relentlessness in the game that will lead your team down there because McCord did it. Yeah.
Play to win, not afraid to lose.
Don't play to lose?
Come on, man.
Okay.
Don't be playing that game with me with that UConn education.
All right, Duke has surprised so many this year, and it started with that first conference opening win against Clemson. You know, what do they do so well that you think might pose a challenge to Notre Dame here tonight?
They just play good team football. I mean, it's really, there's nothing special about Duke in any way, honestly.
Don't tell Mike Elko that.
And exactly, that's really their strength of their team, is that they kind of know the recipe of what they need to do to be successful, right? It's play solid offense, don't turn the football over, play tough defense, play just gritty football for 4 quarters. And I know this team really believes in each other too. So you see just like old school thought process from coach to player here.
Yeah, Riley Leonard is also an NFL caliber quarterback. And I'm looking at the chat right now. Someone said college quarterbacks suck this year. Oh, what football are you watching, my boy? Because that is not true.
About that.
Riley Leonard can do it both with his legs and his arms. He's second on this team in rushing touchdowns. That's something they do really well. I expect that to be a threat. Remember against Clemson, that one play where it looked like they had him tripped up in the backfield. He was able to catch his feet and take it all the way down the field for a long touchdown. That is a threat in multiple ways at the quarterback position.
I thought it was really interesting, too, when Marcus Freeman went around the room after that loss last week, and he pointed out to some individual players, are you the reason that we lost? Was this play the reason we lost? And each player said yes. And then it comes back to him, and he says, I'm also the reason we lost that game. Everybody takes accountability.
Yeah.
How big of a game is this now? Trying to rebound and rally the troops on the road at a tough environment with game day in town for the first time ever. I mean, you look, there's some tough games on here coming up, and a Clemson team who, might get it going down the stretch of the season as well.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the schedule, Duke, I can't believe that it's that high and 69%. I'm surprised that Louisville is that high, too, because Louisville's a gritty football team. USC, I mean, good luck keeping up with them.
Seriously.
So that's where the question marks come. And really, for a lot of these teams in the ACC, you need Duke to win, to stay relevant, right, for this college football playoff, because if they go down, it kind of makes your whole conference look a little questionable.
Yeah, I said it before. A couple weeks ago, Notre Dame has an opportunity to be a kingmaker, whether they're going to be making somebody else the king or they're going to make themselves the king. Right now, even more than ever, they have control of their own schedule. It's not going to be easy. Louisville, I just talked about them being the biggest surprise in college basketball. They're a good team. They can play defense and they can score offensively. It is going to come down to the final second, those final games. Let's see what you can do. Control your own destiny.
I'll tell you who's not a kingmaker. That would be your boy after he went 0 for 2 last week at picks. So let's take a look at the updated standings. Yes, I am 2 for 4.
All right, well, next time let's put him on the bottom there, too.
I know, right? Hold on. We need the guy with the least dubs on the bottom. You feel me?
But I appreciate the highlight. Really highlight and accentuate that 2 and 4.
All right, fair enough.
Yep.
All right, let's pick this game. This is an interesting game here. Notre Dame, can they bounce back? They are fighting for their college football playoff lives. Duke has surprised so many this year. Scoob, you want to start? Or should I start? You want to start?
I'll start us off, man. I'm going with Notre Dame. They're going to get this dub. I believe in Sam Hartman. I think last week the moment was a little bit too big. They probably would have won that game had the coaches not gotten out-coached. A couple of things to clean up. You clean those up, you're fine.
Matty?
Notre Dame, you're the better team. You got to go down there. You got to win on the road against a tough opponent, and you really just got to, again, just reestablish yourself as a real playoff contender. This is a must-win against a ranked opponent for them to keep their hopes alive.
Yeah, I'm going to be the only Dookie up on the board here, so I like my odds here. I mean, at least
you kind of need to play this
kind of got it, bro.
I see Notre Dame up there. No, I'm picking Duke here in this game. I think Riley Leonard has been one of the better quarterbacks in the ACC. He's proven that he can play at a high level, so I will go with the Duke Blue Devils at home. So we got that one. We're also going to pick South Carolina and Tennessee.
Why you
here
keep doing
tonight.
this to me, man? Why are we
I
keep
know. I'm
picking
sorry,
Tennessee?
Matty. I'm sorry.
I hope you're picking against them.
Are you going to pick Tennessee again? I mean, that's the biggest question on the board here. Because they were rude to you the first time.
I was really, wondering if I should do like this reverse psychology thing. So I'm going to pick against them.
Oh.
To jinx the other team.
Okay.
So
that's
I'm
not why you're picking them.
I don't know. I'm not really sure about my alma mater and what they are yet. So yeah, I'm going with South Carolina on the road. Crazy pick. I don't know.
Hey, you see Joe Milton. You just saw the highlight of him running fast like a NASCAR on that play. I'm going with Tennessee. Offense has been looking a little bit better, just a little bit.
Remember what happened last year in this game, though?
Yeah, but they can't protect Spencer Rattler for anything.
Yeah, that's good.
On that offensive line. And Tennessee is pretty good at getting after the quarterback. However, Spencer Rattler is having one of the best starts to the season that any other quarterback in the country is having. So shout out to him.
Real quick, what's it like playing at Neyland Stadium?
It's awesome. It really is.
It's one of the most special places to play in the entire country. And I think it's gotten even better over the last couple of years. I'm going to go with Tennessee at home to win over South.
That just looks so bad that I did that. All right,
now you're the only one who picked against your alma mater.
I technically didn't graduate, so, I can,
All right, we got more highlights to get to, too. 2 of the 3 remaining undefeateds in the Big 12 heading into Week 5, the other being Oklahoma. These 2, number 3, Texas, number 24, Kansas. First Texas drive, Quinn Ewers calling his own number, goes 30 yards
when he
for the
do
touchdown.
this?
How about turn on the Jets, young man?
Turn on the mullet, my friend.
We got to bring the mullet back for Quinn Ewers.
Nah, he looks way better.
He's all business now, baby. All business.
Looks way better.
Second quarter now, Jason Bean in. No Jalen Daniels in this game. Was a late scratch.
Nice move.
But Bean, look, a fumble. But watch the point. Bean on the ground.
The
Bean was
football
pointing.
gods are there to look out for your boys.
And why? Because he hustled. He was following the play, and he finished the play, so that's why he was gifted by the football gods.
Oh, Jonathan Brooks here takes the handoff, 54 yards to the touchdown, 20-7. Texas starting to run away with this one. Fourth quarter, Ewers finding Adonai Mitchell for the touchdown. Texas going up 33.
Great addition
14.
from the transfer portal. He has been helping. A lot of touchdowns this year in the Big 12. Pretty sure he's up there tied for the leaders.
Right, so this one was close for a little bit, but Texas pulled away. 5-0 now on the season. Good day for Ewers, 325 with a touchdown interception. Look, both teams had great quarterbacks here. The run game played a really important role in this one. You have folks out there that are saying Texas is the best team in the country.
I mean, I think it's only because they beat Alabama on the road, but is that win? I mean, I know winning at Alabama is super impressive, but as we see this season continue, is a win against Alabama really that impressive, especially with how they look versus South Florida? Now, granted, their comeback win, or their win against Ole Miss was important, but still, it kind of leads to that, are we impressed with them?
Right.
Yeah, the thing about Texas is they do really well in the trenches. They're deep. On the defensive side, but on the interior, their offensive line has played really well. 336 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns in the win today. That is huge, and most of that was between the tackles. So Texas, they're a great team, but there was at one point in this game where it was a 6-point game.
Yeah.
Kansas decided to go for it on a 4th and 1, and at that point, in my opinion, if you would have punted it would have been a different situation. If you look at the probability, it probably swung the other way as soon as they turned the ball over on downs, and then it just started to snowball.
We're going to find out a lot about Texas next week, right? I mean, and we're finding a lot about the Big 12 with the Red River rivalry in Texas and Oklahoma. That's where we're going to really learn, is Texas maybe the best team in the country?
I am very excited for this matchup. It's just the meeting of minds here with the offensive and defensive side, with Brendan Venables on the defensive side, Sarkisian on the offensive side. Who wins that matchup, that chess match?
Yeah, all right, well, another team that we're looking at in the SEC that's been doing really well is Missouri.
Yes.
And they took on Vanderbilt.
Go Tigers.
Who start off in the first quarter. Missouri up 3-0. Great call in the red zone, coach. QB option. Ken Seals runs it in, 6 yards for a touchdown. Vanderbilt gets on the board, now leading 7-3. Second quarter, Cody Schrader says, I got us. Take us in the end zone. The Tigers end up getting back on top, 10-7, 55 seconds left to go in the first half, same score. Brady Cook throws it 12 yards to Theo Wees Jr. for the touchdown. Tigers extend their lead. We go to the third quarter, it's still 17-7. Cook throws it to the Deebo Samuel of college football, Luther Burden. Missouri now up 24-7. I mean, Burden's fourth straight game with 100-plus receiving yards. They go on to win a 38-21, undefeated on the season. Great start. Brady Cook still cooking. 395, 4 touchdowns. Missouri, look out.
LSU, Ole Miss, top 25 matchup here. How does Ole Miss bounce back after the loss last week? First drive for Ole Miss, Jackson Dart. Throwing a dart, Quinshon Junkins, who is playing a little bit better here as of late. Ole Miss goes up 7 here, same score. We got Bentley taking the handoff here, going 43 yards for Ole Miss. Rebels take a 14-0 lead. Talk about a statement that you want to make at home coming off a loss. Jump up ahead. Ole Miss up 7 now, and Jackson Dart finding Jordan Watkins. You know,
I mean, this game is pretty much drunk right now at this point, Sam, because LSU and Ole Miss guess how many yards they're combined for right now?
well, we got to be close to, what are we at, half right now?
Yeah, we're at halftime.
500?
760.
Wow.
The most in the first half of an SEC conference game in the last 20 seasons. This is ridiculous. I don't know what's going on. It's 31-28 at the half. And this game, like I said, is drunk. But for those that got drunk watching the Oregon State and Utah game,
last night.
we got the highlight for you. No Cam Rising for the Utes. We pick it up in the third. Beavers up 7. DJ Uliungalale had a slow start in the first half, but was locked in the second half. It's a perfect ball to Josiah Irish. They got the chains moving. Uliungalale then finds Silas Bowden. Bowden was a problem all day. Hit them with the lemon pepper steppers there to cut it in the end zone. They get up 14-0. Later in the third, Utah brings in Bryson Barnes, their third-string quarterback, and he's thinking, great. It's a low snap now. I'm just in the game. He fumbles, gets wrapped up, loses a whole bunch of yards. Next play, Barnes throws up the middle, and he's picked off by Easton Macarius Arnold. That makes 5 straight quarters without a point for Utah. Their worst streak in 20 years. So if you're on Oregon State, celebrate good times. Come on.
Come on.
Man, he's got the bandage on the arm, too, with the interception.
Yep, fourth quarter. They think they're going to do the Philly push, but psych! It's a pitch to Bowden. Bounces it out outside, 45 yards for the touchdown. That was 4th and 1. Bowden had 153 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. In this replay, you see Miles Battle, Utah's #1 corner out of there, standing by the slot receiver. I mean, there's just nobody outside. Great execution on the play. They go up 21-7 there. They rush the field. Oregon State looks good. Utah, listen, I said it in our meeting room, Matt. They have been the Iowa of the Pac-12, the way that they've been playing.
Man,
Just running the ball great, playing great defense, special teams. The punter's an all-star. He had some great punts in this game, but you lose. You need Cam Rising back. And they're going to have a bye week. I think this is planned out well, where it gives Cam an extra week to just get ready.
At the same time, it is still, almost halfway through the season. So to think that he's going to be in just like top performance shape right from the start. And one of the things that we forget about Cam Rising and his impact for this football team, his ability to extend plays and get like tough, gritty yards running the football too. So it's still a big question mark to me. But this Utah defense is legit.
Yeah.
They are legit. They are going to be a pain in the butt for everyone that plays against them because they can get after the quarterback. But very impressed with Oregon State and their performance.
When was the last time that we said that Utah got out-physicaled by I mean, you watched Oregon State last night. That is a big physical team.
They are. And they got a lot of dudes that look like they're got like NFL caliber football players on both sides of the football. We saw the speed in the offensive side of the football, the defensive side. I mean, you saw Arnold's interception, his interception, at the end. Like, he is a really good-looking football player that has a nose for the football, too. Does a really good job tackling and tackles for loss.
Last thing here, this is a really cool stat. Getting into the AP Top 10 has been absolute kryptonite for Utah. Dating back to 2019, the Utes have lost 6 consecutive games when ranked in the top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just astounding for a team who is really well coached and a team that tends to win quite a few games. All right, moving on here. We're going to switch gears here a little bit. We all have those people in our lives that maybe come in and try to fix everything, right? Try to just shake everything up, implement their own system maybe. So we're going to kind of apply that to college football here, and we are going to be the fixers and have the fixer mentality. A lot of suggestions have been made, guys, one of which being relegation. Now, we know, for those who may not know what relegation is, if you watch soccer over in Europe, they will have tiers, divisions, and then if you win, you get to move up divisions. If you lose, or at the bottom tier, or bottom of the table, as they say, you are moved down to a lower division. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it would work, but what are your thoughts? Scoob, I'll start with you.
It's fun, right? And the reason why this is being brought up because of what's happening with the Tupac or the Pac-2 as it is. Oregon State and Washington State wants to take control of the Pac-12, but the members who have left are still technically on the board. And right now the discussions is to get the MAC or the Mountain West? They're trying to get one of these other conferences to get them in there and then come up with this relegation concept. And I think it's fun with those teams. But if I was a Power 5 team, why would I agree to relegation and bring myself down? What about
Georgia.
The money?
Right.
What about the money how's that bread gonna look like? Relegation is a fun topic, but when it comes down to these schools and these presidents and these athletic directors, they're gonna be like,
That's a cute idea there, Todd, but we're not gonna do it. And hey, it's really simple, man. Let's just copy and paste what the NFL does. All right, it's the greatest league in the world. All right, they're making a lot of money. It's doing well. It's going overseas now too. If you've really been paying attention.
We got Toy Story tomorrow, man.
We got Toy Story playing football, man.
9:30 ESPN Plus.
I mean, let's be real. So, I would like to impose, okay?
Here we go.
Yeah, no, I think top 40 teams from across the country.
Yeah.
Put them in there. All right, just like the NFL. AFC North, AFC South, AFC West, AFC, all that, right? Make the same divisions. And now just cross-pollinate the entire whole league. There is no cupcake games anymore. Every game is important. Every game will be a test of a real opponent against a real opponent, right? And I think that'll be the best system in place for NIL. It'll be the best system in place for the college football playoff and really for the fans at home too. Stop holding on to your old rivalries. It's over. Don't worry about them.
No more rivalries.
No, I mean, like, we're going to still have rivalries.
Rivalry.
And we can still have those type of things. But, like, some of the other ones, like, any Pac-12 rivalry, it's done. So we got to let go of these things. And you know who's really in trouble? That team right there, Notre Dame. Sorry, independent. You got to join us, or be relegated.
Or you're going to relegate them, right? My question is, all right, so you have all of these. This seems like I love your idea. I think it's great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Who governs it? I mean, who's going to be the overseer of it? You need some guardrails in there.
Too much power.
Well, this is where I feel like...
And we've seen the NCAA is like...
No doubt.
Right?
No, forget the NCAA. They're useless anyway. I mean, they have been for a very long time, right? Even Mac Brown said it. And Mac Brown's been a part of college football for a long time. So even he's saying, like, they're useless, right?
Hey, someone in the chat said no rivalries. Nah, son.
Listen.
I feel you. I feel you in the chat.
You're going to have better rivalries with this system in place. Because look at the NFL, right, and the AFC North. I mean, you still get the Steelers. You still get the Ravens. You still get the Browns. Like, these are still really fun games that are a part of the fabric of football. So why can't we do this exact same thing for college football?
I think some people just want to keep the NFL, and keep college football. What is something that's going to separate the two? And that's what I hear.
As soon as we started paying college football players, they became professional football players. They just hide behind, the shield of going to class every day.
I hear you.
They're getting paid more than the teachers that are teaching them. So, hey, it's a professional business now, and treat it that way.
Yeah, Oregon won't be beating someone 81-7. I see that in the chat.
Right. Yeah. So, like, it'll be more fun with just more relevant games week in and week out. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a better product.
Oh, this is making me say, holy cow, Matt, because that's what we got in our next segment. Let's have some fun with some of the top plays that we've seen today. Sam, I know you like what you saw in the first one, because you always start us off right.
Yes, no, I did. The first play that we have here, we got Caleb Williams, 71-yard touchdown pass, finding Taj Washington here.
Oh, yeah, I saw this one in the hat. Look at him twerk his body.
It's just amazing. The throw across his body. Just incredible stuff from Caleb Williams, and this is what he's shown us throughout his entire collegiate career. We'll show it in the NFL as well. Crowns himself there. I'm going to give this a score of 99.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? I respect that.
I do.
It was a great throw. Matt thought I said, look at him twerk his body. I said, twerk. All right, second play. Ooh, Elijah Klein hauls in a ridiculous grab for North Dakota. Looks like he got stickum on his hands. Let's check this out again. Okay. Ooh, all right. On his head. On his head. I've been a harsh grader But
No,
I
not you,
always
Scoob. Not you.
respect the great grabs. Chat, I don't know what y'all would give this, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a 92. 92,
Wow, that's high.
baby.
That's
Let's
high,
go.
Scoob.
Let's go.
Is that an A minus or an A?
He is a human being, all right?
All right, next play here. UAB, Amari Thomas with an insane
Oh, my Lord.
catch. And this is on the road, I believe, at Tulane today. Ooh.
All right, now, usually I would say this is like 100. But the problem is that this is so routine now.
Oh, come on.
We see things like this all the time.
Routine.
Now, wait, routine? What are you talking about? We saw Michigan do the exact same thing today. All right, so don't give me that. Like, it happens every week. Now, I'm giving it a 90. It's still a passing grade player. All right, so don't get upset with me.
That's an A in my book, by the way.
Yeah, it's an A. It's a better grade than I ever got in college, right? But I'm just telling you, like, it's just these dudes make unbelievable plays week in and week out.
All right, Norfolk State quarterback keeper, 65 yards.
Oh, he got some
for the
wheels.
score.
He's flying.
Oh.
I mean, are we going to reward him for the speed? Where's my music? There we go. There's my band.
He doesn't even get the music.
I got to have the music.
This is me. I'm going to give it a 90. Oh, but I don't know about the
Come on, a
celebration.
90. He was untouched.
Yeah, but I docked 10 points off for the celebration.
Fair
you know,
enough.
the chest bump.
So you
after
would have
the
given it
touchdown.
100.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was not 100.
No, this was a standard issue run right down the
Great
middle.
call, coach.
Yeah,
That was like, all right.
I'm a big believer in attendance matters.
I'm going to go with the JMU tip drill interception. Okay, nice. Oh, all right. Nice tips. Tip balls become pick balls, and we take it to the house. All right. Kamara is the one that tipped it.
Tips and overthrows. Gotta get those.
Gotta get those, baby. We gonna go with something nice for this. Listen, I think this is a better play than the last play that you just rated, Sam, but I'm still gonna give this one a lower grade, 83. 83, baby. I mean, it was all right.
Look,
it was,
Second time JMU's been on this.
JMU's been good at that.
They're making plays, baby.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. Well, this has completely gone off the rails here.
Sorry, Sam. That's us. That's our fault.
All right, so Tennessee, South Carolina here. This was a game that we picked. Matt did not pick his alma mater here, but we're going to go
do a
ahead
quick live look in this.
and take a nice little live look in at what's going on right now. Okay, we're in a replay. That's what we're looking
From
at.
2022, from when
You were
Spencer
talking
Rattler
about what happened last year.
was
Matty.
cooking them up. They put up, 63 points?
Something like that.
Yeah. And Spencer Rattler has just been playing well, as I said earlier in the show, guys. And let's see if he can keep it up against this team.
I did a little reverse psychology. All right, I went
Okay.
against my team.
All right.
But that's just like my out though too.
Sure. All right,
All right, so we're in the game. Tennessee's already scored.
7-0 here. Oh,
It's not looking good, my pick. This is what I get. This is what I get for turning my back on my team. Unbelievable.
All right, so the way that right now Tennessee's off to a good start. Joe Milton's 4 for 4, 31 yards, and Jalen Wright is the one that got them in the end zone. He's averaging 14.5 yards per carry.
Yeah.
Had a 42-yard run that got them into the
nice play
end
call
zone.
there.
But
Why-
South Carolina.
look out. Look
Making
out.
plays. Okay.
Down to the 30. That's a chunk play right there.
So really good play call right there.
Yeah.
Dow Loggins, offensive coordinator for South Carolina, former NFL coach for a long time. Really creative play call. You see this kind of play all the time in the NFL.
Look at the big boys running downfield. You do not want to see that if you're a DB.
You see him run?
If you're a DB and your back turns to the guy that's coming after you, bad
Don't hit me.
news.
This game, though, has a potential to be a super high-scoring football game because neither team really has played tremendous defense so far this season.
No, I think a lot of people. Tennessee got similar treatment to LSU. I feel like after an early loss to a good team, Tennessee lost to Florida, LSU losing to Florida State. Like I feel like we wrote them off. Tennessee is a very good football team here. They could make a run here, and considering the way that Georgia has played so far this year, who knows what could happen. All right, Scoop, what do you got for us now?
Hold on. We got to watch this play first, Sam, because I was about to get my segment started
gonna say.
until I saw, I got to watch the game because we're watching the game, but now let's have a little bit more fun. It's time now for a fun segment that we call Scooby Doos and Scooby Don'ts. You know your boy's name, so we had to do it because there's no mystery. There's been some wild things that have happened in college football this season, so let's review. This is a Scooby Don't. Come on, man. In a nutshell, don't snap the ball until your quarterback's ready. You took the man out. And then last week, Caleb Williams dropped in the Heisman race to Michael Penix Jr. And y'all saw it, got hit in the family jewels. But Matt, I also say this is a Scooby Don't because you can't sleep on Caleb Williams to win the Heisman after what we saw today. 6 touchdown passes, man.
I like Michael Penix a lot, but we got to unseat and take away the throne from the king first before we crown somebody else.
Let's go.
It's a Scooby Don't.
All right, this next one is a Scooby Don't. Like, if you're at the college game day, don't dunk on the mascot and dang near take him out. You pretty much assaulted him with the way that you're doing. Hey, Sam, what did Dan Lanning say last week? They do it for clicks, we do it for wins. I think he did it for clicks right here, this student.
No question about it, but he also got up and gave him the "you're too small" tap on the head there. I mean, also, this is Duke on Duke. Violence here. What are we doing?
We typically see this with Jets fans.
Right.
All right, so we've gone with 2 Scooby Don'ts. Now it's time for Scooby Doo. As in, do what Molly Graff did and do the hustle. Do. Right as the game ended, Molly got onto the field, sprinted, and got her interview right on time, Matt. Listen, we're some athletes too, even though we're in front of the camera.
Scooby-Doo, absolutely with you on that one. And the athleticism, the hair looks perfect after that 40-yard dash, too. So good for you, Molly. That's some athleticism right there, beating all the fans out there to midfield.
How is there not an easier way to do this? I mean, we see every single weekend, somebody's got to hustle out to midfield.
All right, now we're going to add it with another Scooby-Doo. Because shout out to Tupac because they found his alleged killer, some dude he was tied to the connection. And shout out to the Pac 2 because those 2 final remaining members in Oregon State and Washington State have had great seasons. And Sam, both QBs on those teams are playing well.
Oh, they sure are. These are dangerous teams, too. There's so many questions as to where they're going to go. Let's just enjoy the season that we have now for these 2 programs.
Yep.
And by the way, this is like the friendliest rivalry that there is in college sports today.
Yeah, so we had to Scooby-Doo them there. But I hate to Scooby don't. The University of Iowa, I used to live out there, covered the team, but you don't start this PR nightmare by making your offensive coordinator sign a contract where he has to score 25 points per game to keep his job. And Matt, now we're counting the points for every single game because Brian Ferentz is a little bit behind right now.
I don't really know what to say about this, man. I kind of feel bad for all the Iowa fans out there and for the Ferentz family because this is, it's kind of getting somewhat embarrassing, and I'm with you on this one, Scoob, 100%.
I get it, but they did it to themselves, right? I mean, why put it out there to the whole entire world? I mean, this is a PR nightmare for Iowa, but
it's
again,
a weird way to get attention.
Self-imposed, yes.
Hey, I told you I used to live out in Iowa, so I couldn't close this out without giving y'all a Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
As in, do what the Iowa State Cyclones did when it comes down to NIL. Use your name to advantage. The Iowa Pork Producers Association has signed 4 ISU Cyclones to an NIL deal. Miles Purchase, Tyler Moore, Tommy Hammond, and Caleb Bacon. Yes. Basically saying, purchase more ham, bacon. And we got to love that, Matt, because, it's protein. I guess you're right. I'm a big bacon man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have for Scooby-Doos and Scooby-Don'ts.
That was fantastic, Scooby. Great work. We got a live look in here at Notre Dame and Duke. Flag on the play here. I believe targeting is actually the call. Could have got offsides as well. I don't know. Saw a targeting flash up there. But, all right, I got a little fun fact for you here in this one, guys. Only one FBS team this season is undefeated, has outscored their opponents by at least 110 points, and has beaten a top 10 team. And that team is the Duke Blue Devils. Only one. And they got a lot of pressure on them here. 3rd and 5 here, Maddie. Where does Riley Leonard go?
3rd and 5, we're getting man coverage. Really good play design right there by Duke. They send a man in motion, and they run the little return route. He runs fake across like a shallow and then breaks back out. Good timing throw right there for the first down. Good play call, too, by the offensive coordinator, knowing what he was going to get defensively.
What was your mentality, too? You're playing at home. You go down early to a team that you want to beat, a rival. You know, do the emotions kind of get up in you? I mean, it's early on in the game, I know, but...
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, you know you're playing against a good football team, so you can't really get, like, too high or too low, especially early on. And really the biggest thing is just execute, you know, be as boring as possible and just weather the storm, because typically you might see a few new concepts, too, defensively that you maybe didn't prepare for. So both teams just kind of getting a feel for what the other team's, you know, scheme will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you typically get a nice feel for that towards the end of the first half, which is why we've always talked about the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half is where games are decided, because that's when you know what you can do and what you can execute, and it's about making sure you execute it when the time comes.
All right.
But 2nd and 10 here, let's see what they do. This is big.
Leonard took a shot to the end zone the last play.
Pressure here from the field with the motion.
Yeah, typically when you see somebody run with the motion man, they're in man coverage. And we've seen that twice now, back-to-back plays.
Duke's a very good running team, too. But I wonder, does it help Duke at all that they played a team that is very physical on defense like Clemson to get them ready for this game?
It definitely does, but it also helps a team like Notre Dame, who goes against, you know, themselves in practice all the time, who runs the ball extremely well. So it'll be just up to creating mismatches as much as you possibly can. That last play, though. So here we go. We got man coverage again. Everyone is head up here on the bunch, right? Everyone is looking at their man. They're pointing the point man. Really good job playing it out. Yep.
It looked like he left the pocket a little bit too early there.
Predetermined, just a little bit there.
Yep.
Looked like he was well protected if he just steps up.
Yep, and stays with it. The Shedeur, that's what he does. I need
So
to
we
stop.
got a 5-man rush, basically 5 one-on-ones. Really good coverage, though, on the back end right there. Even though it was man coverage, it looked like they really had everyone locked up. So
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, not a bad sack and still in field goal range.
Todd Polinos, perfect on the year, 4 for 4. 37-yard attempt.
Announcer jinx, don't do it to him, Sam.
I know, right?
I've done it other times in my career. So
you got to do push-ups.
That-
You got to do
Sam,
push-ups.
what are you doing?
You knew you weren't supposed to do that.
I apologize.
Get down,
Mr.
Indiana Jones.
This is a good at least
At least 3.
At least three. At least three. There we go.
Unbelievable. See,
It's his fault, Duke. If he didn't say
That was
what we all
terrible.
knew, it wouldn't have happened.
You
that
know-
was inhumane of you.
Well, he's been perfect on the year. It's 4 for 4.
Say it after the fact.
Chip shot.
Man.
37 yards. Duke can't get on the board there. We will, of course, be watching with you the rest of the way. For Matt Sims, Skubie Mageza, I'm Sam Ravech. Thanks again for watching the College Football Show presented by AT&T 5G. I'll do a couple more.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I feel
up to
bad.
5. This is all your fault.
This is embarrassing. You call that a push-up, soldier? Unbelievable.
It's amazing how heavy this jacket is, by the way.
Get that
Unbelievable.
fork.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep your elbows in, soldier.